We're dealing with another day of dangerously hot temperatures. Plus, today marks the end of a big boost to unemployment checks, and back to school shopping is looking a little different this year. 12 at 12 starts right now. 12 minutes, no commercials, and now we are live statewide. So a big shout out to all of our viewers. We're on TV and on the go on the 12 News app, Facebook, and YouTube. Hey guys, it's Mitch here. How y'all doing? Our big story today is this excessive heat. Arizona is smack dab in the middle of a heat wave, and we all know it's not pretty. We're coming off yesterday's 118-degree day, and already things are getting toasty outside. Let's check in with Team 12 meteorologist Crystal Henderson. And Crystal, setting up to be another record-breaking day.
All of these records could get rewritten today. That's overachieving if I ever saw it. And believe me, this list could go longer. I just ran out of room. Statewide temperatures are running more than 10 degrees above average, and Phoenix wasted no time this morning, already locking in 2 records. 91 degrees for minimum temperature would tie the 2013 record warm low and give us a tally of 16 mornings launching from 90-degree territory. And that tally is going to continue. So we're going to keep the number going in the record books on that. This excessive heat warning continues to keep its grip on more than 5 million Arizonans through Saturday. And we all just don't get to shake it off after that. It is going to get extended for portions of Maricopa and Yuma counties through Monday. What's going to make it feel even more unbearable heading into the weekend is as we usher in a little bit more moisture, it's going to be a case of the muggies for us. That could touch up an isolated shower or storm across the higher terrain of northern, eastern, and southeastern Arizona. And even though it looks promising that we're dialing down on those temperature readings Saturday and Sunday, the humidity is going to make it feel that much more worse. If you are spending the weekend in the higher terrain, just keep your ears perked for a possible storm.
Thank you, Crystal. As we get into those scorching temperatures, keep you and your family safe out there. Once again, the Salvation Army is opening up heat relief stations. For a full list of where to find them, head over to 12news.com. Thanks to social distancing and people wearing masks in public, there is cautious optimism when it comes to the coronavirus outbreak in Arizona. Today, the Department of Health Services is reporting more than 3,200 new cases, bringing the total statewide to more than 174,000 cases since the start of this pandemic. There are also 68 new deaths, and that brings our total statewide to more than 3,600. A big boost to unemployment checks that have been keeping millions of Americans afloat during the pandemic is set to end today. That $600 a week affects the incomes of many Arizonans, too. Team 12's Jen Wall is outside the Department of Economic Security office with the latest on this.
Unless Republicans and Democrats can agree on a new relief deal soon, millions of Americans are facing a big loss to their jobless benefits, and that includes a lot of Arizonans who are using that money to pay their mortgages, their rent, even their groceries. This as a lot of businesses remained closed during the coronavirus pandemic. So what's behind the end to the loss of the $600 weekly jobless benefits? Well, it was part of the federal coronavirus relief law that started back in April. As the pandemic continues and millions of Americans still are not working, negotiations on Capitol Hill are stuck as that initial deal runs out. There are talks of hitting an impasse. Republicans want to drop those extra unemployment payments to $200 over concerns people will not want to return back to work. Democrats want to extend the $600 benefit. The House passing the HEROES Act back in May, which would do just that through early next year. Meanwhile, as many Arizonans are struggling, Governor Doug Ducey says Congress should act.
Arizona is going to do its part to do what's necessary. We're going to need cooperation from Congress. Like I said, we don't print money at the state level. We're not in a position today, especially during a pandemic, to be borrowing money.
And here in Arizona, people receiving the jobless benefits could see their checks drop from a little more than $800 a week to a little more than $200 a week. Again, that is if Congress does not act fast. For now, we're in Phoenix. Jen Wall, 12 News.
Thank you, Jen. With new information coming out almost by the minute, we know it can be tough to keep up. But good news, you can find the latest details about the coronavirus and how it's affecting Arizona on the 12 News app. Governor Doug Ducey is ordering flags at all state buildings be lowered today in honor of a young Arizona Army National Guard soldier who recently died. 23-year-old Robert Dwayne Bryant Jr. was also a Phoenix police officer. Team 12's Mark Liverman is at the state capitol with more on this young man's life.
Authorities say the lieutenant was rushed to a Tempe hospital after he fell during a physical test earlier this week. Now the governor is ordering all flags at state buildings to be lowered from sunrise to sunset today. That includes right here at the state capitol. You can see that's been done for this young soldier. So far, Lieutenant Robert Wayne Bryant Jr.'s official cause of death has not been released. His close friend tells us Bryant knew from a young age that he wanted to be a police officer and serve in the military. He served as a second lieutenant at that Papago Park military reservation. Bryant was also getting ready to propose to the love of his life. A friend described what he'd missed most about him.
He was very compassionate. He was very kind, very giving. He was what every officer has always strived to be, what every military person wants to be.
Bryant's friend says the soldier was in phenomenal shape and that he often ran 5 miles multiple times a week. Bryant also loved the arts, to sing and to play practical jokes. This is a man who will be missed by so many. Again, a tribute at the state capitol here today. At the state capitol, Mark Liverman, 12 News.
Thank you, Mark. Hashtag most clicked. Here are the stories piquing everyone's interest right now. Check your lottery tickets. You could be a multimillionaire and not even know it. A winning pick ticket worth more than $3 million was sold at a Circle K in Chandler. The gas station is near 56th Street and Chandler Boulevard. Arizona lottery officials say the winning ticket matched all 6 numbers. This is Arizona's 5th lottery jackpot in just the last 2 months. What a lucky state. Developing details of the bridge collapse that led to a train derailment and fire in Tempe. City officials do not know how long the surrounding area will remain closed, but say it could take months to access and repair the damage. And that's partly because of a hazardous material that leaked out of some of the cars. It's called cyclohexanone, and our record heat could actually cause it to reignite. It's because it can catch fire at 111 degrees. Hazmat officials put cooling foam on top of the chemical to keep it from igniting. About 500 gallons spilled out, but the spill is now contained. Developing today, Sheriff Mark Lamb is looking for volunteers to fill his new Citizens Posse. The group would help the Pinal County Sheriff's Department monitor activity throughout the county. Volunteers would have to do a short training program and to join the posse and must pass a background check. Now let's connect the dots. As Arizona schools decide if students will be staying at home this fall, you may hear 2 terms a lot: e-learning and virtual learning. They sound similar, but they're not the same.
As kids get ready for a different start to the new school year, we're hearing a lot of terms to describe the way they'll learn online. Let's break down the 2 you've likely heard the most: e-learning and virtual learning. E-learning, or electronic learning, is online instruction by a teacher where students can join and complete at their own pace on their own schedule. This is what many districts did this spring, allowing families to fit schoolwork in while juggling their new work-from-home life. With virtual learning, it's more interactive. Students join live lessons with their teachers and have the capability to ask questions and even chat with their classmates. Come this fall, you may see a combination of both of these in your child's back-to-school plan as educators work to accommodate the individual learner and family schedules.
With many schools starting the school year virtually, there are concerns the delays could be another blow to business. Retailers and industry watchers are unsure of what to expect as the pandemic delays the first day of school and prompts online learning. Some analysts predict that families will spend less as they watch their budgets or as homeschooling limits the need for a fresh wardrobe. Others say it'll simply add more big-ticket items like laptops and tablets and shift spending toward lower-priced casual wear. The coronavirus pandemic is affecting every aspect of life, and one of the areas being hit hard by COVID right now is the arts. As Team 12's Tricia Hendricks explains, after 5 decades of continuous operation, one of the most well-known and loved groups of performers in the Phoenix area is struggling to stay afloat.
In full operation generation, this is what the Black Theater Troupe stage looks like, bringing laughter, tears, engagement to its audience. Throughout the past 5 decades, the company has been instrumental in doing so much for the community through 6 plays a year.
Founded in response to the civil unrest around the country of the late 60s. And it addressed the trauma of racial unrest. It addressed it before it got here to Phoenix.
But now, Executive Director David Hemphill says due to the COVID-19 crisis, the seats remain empty, the stage bare. And this is how it's been since the end of February, the last time they held a fundraiser.
Drastically impacted. It's very difficult for organizations that have a very, very thin margin like our company.
Sadly, they're up against major challenges, forcing them to postpone their 2019-2020 season.
COVID has really knocked us back. Been able to overcome by sheer grit.
Without shows, the only saving grace is a church renting out the space to help with bills. Right now, they're working with the city, trying to improvise to bring an audience back safely at some point.
To use the amphitheater and bandstand at Eastlake Park.
Hemphill is optimistic.
And it's already proven as a group we were able to alleviate the incoming pressure of the racial riots in the 60s. Now we're in that same situation again. To vent those emotions, the best place to do it is through the arts.
In Phoenix, Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
And that's your 12 at 12. The facts on everything you need to know in just 12 minutes with no commercials. We are always on, anywhere, anytime on 12news.com, on the 12 News app, and on social media as well.